All right, y'all, today we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business. Gonna see for its local search and for its city search, see if it's got a BSS. So we're back here in the GBC universe, taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. Learn more about that, pinned post, pinned profile, whatever. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. We're missing people somewhere on our intent ladder here. Either the high intent people or low intent people or mid intent people. Here on this profile, this channel, this brand, we talk about BSS, boudoir search sameness, which we'll get into. But we focus on the highest intent people. People search for boudoir photo shoots right now on social search and Google search, literally typing it in because that's what we want right now. On our other brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, we talk about BLCS on our other profiles. And right now we work with boudoir photographers spending more than 10 grand per month in boudoir Facebook ads. So BSS, boudoir search sameness, means a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 on Google. 0 slots on page 1, that's killing us because we already know that approximately 80% of Google searches never go past page 1. So, and we want to deal with that 80% pack, that's the majority, that only stick on page 1, which means if we got 0 slots, we're invisible to them. If we got 1 slot, we're still essentially invisible because everyone else on the front page 1 has got 1 slot as well. So we don't stand out. They're just going to click through, click everyone's link over in everyone's, website, fill out the contact form. We actually are, what we teach here, so we want to hit the GBC minimum of actually 3 out of 10 on page 1. That means, they'll see our name 3 times on page 1. It's totally doable if using the correct strategy. And that looks totally different than everyone else having 1. Sometimes, occasionally, someone will have 2, but dude, if we got 3, no, basically no one else will have 3. Ideally, we want to have as many as possible, but 3, definitely doable. Any boudoir photographer can do. 0, 1, though, that's bad because 0, 1 slots on page 1 Google is not normal. It's actually a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. The first root cause that everyone knows about, market saturation. And that is, more boudoir photographers entering the market, every day, every week. Seems like anytime everyone gets a new iPhone, they're throwing up their Google My Business profile, throwing up their website, saying they now do boudoir photo shoots, which clusters page 1 on Google and probably kicking us off of there, kicking us down to page 2 where we're invisible and we're dead from page 2 of Google. But the bigger problem that nobody's pointed out, I've never seen anyone point this out before, and what I see as the #1 killer of boudoir photography businesses is the false belief of page 1 equality. It's a false belief that every boudoir photographer is entitled or can have either 0 or 1 slots on page 1. So if I have my 1 slot, okay, I'm cool, I'm chilling. Or there's more market saturation. All right, I got pushed off page 1, now I'm on page 2, but I got 1 slot on page 2, but that's fine. So I'm 0 slots on page 1, 1 slot on page 2, but that's how it is. That's the game. No, incorrect. I'm from 0 out of 10 slots on page 1 of Google to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google in 10 days. We can actually take as much page 1 real estate as we want to put in the work to take. And because people resign themselves to, okay, either 0, 1 slot, it's like people haven't even tried to take more slots when Google wants to give the slots to the people that wants the slots the most. That's the goal of Google, and obviously the most relevant search term to the user search. Now, a boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness, so 0, 1 slots on page 1 on Google, that's boudoir search sameness, is a disappearing boudoir photographer. Because if they're on page 1, they got 1 slot, they look the same as everyone else, they're essentially invisible. They're going to be outcompeted, price shopped. And if they're on page 2 or anything, they're dead. 80% ain't even going there. And the precursor to a disappearing boudoir photography business is having BSS becoming a disappearing boudoir photographer. That's the first time. That's like the canary in the coal mine. But We got the solution because we know that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S cubed methodology. And we know that because we invented it. It's actually been utilizing it about the last 7 months. We're happy with its results, so we're bringing it to market now. And S cubed methodology is actually a system that allows us to take as much search real estate as possible on Facebook search, Instagram search, TikTok search, and YouTube search. And once we take that real estate, the back end effect is taking as many slots on page one of Google as we want, or as we put in the effort to acquire. And the special thing about SQL methodology, this is the only thing, literally the only thing that I've seen that can successfully outcompete market saturation. The only thing that can do it within, make progress towards it within 30 days, visible progress. Obviously, the only other thing would be brand, but that takes years to build. But if we want to fight back against market saturation, literally in the next month, we can do that SQ methodology. And also, it's the only thing I've seen that even if there are 1 million boudoir photographers in our city, and we decided, so super maximum market saturation, they got their website, whatever. Each one's got their website. If we took S cubed methodology to the max, and we, ranked the first 300 slots across all social search for, boudoir photographer, whatever, Charlotte, North Carolina, that then flows to Google. So basically anywhere any woman searches for a boudoir photographer, Charlotte, North Carolina, we've taken up the first 300 slots, and Google, each page is 10 slots, so we're taking up the first, 30 pages of Google. Our business will be fine. Our business will be growing. We'll be the fastest growing business in the city, even though there's 999 other boudoir photographers, because we successfully used S-cube methodology to outcompete market saturation. That's the magic of it. Well, one of the magic things of it. There's also some more magical things on the back end. Now, once treated with S-cubed methodology, we have page one visibility. So we want to hit the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 local, 3 out of 10 for our city. Because if we got 0 on page 1, or on page 2, we're dead. If we got 1 on page 1, we're still invisible, still basically dead. So, we'll be price shopped to death. 2, that's better. There's a chance that someone else will have 2 though. 3, basically no one else is going to have 3. So then we'll definitely be standing out versus the 1 slotters, and we'll also still be standing out against the 2 slotters if we got 3 slots. The extra bonus is every new link that we get on page 1, we kick competing boudoir photographers off page 1, effectively making them invisible. So either we do it to them, or eventually someone in our city is probably going to use this strategy and do it to us. And if they're working with me, well, I'm only working with one person in a city at a time, so y'all got to figure out how to do this yourself and put in the time to actually execute it. And page 1 visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. Okay, so we're actually being seen in search because we got 3 out of 10. We hit the GBC minimum. We can go higher, 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10. But we want to hit the GBC minimum. Because we get more and more visible, higher and higher chance people come to us, less and less chance people price shop, and there's fewer boudoir photographers to price shop against on page 1. So we're kind of, again, we're going back, we're kicking our competitors completely off page 1, making them essentially invisible. And a boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility is a visible boudoir photographer. So it's our full micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the 2 horns of market saturation and page 1 equality. And we got the solution though, S-cubed methodology. We achieve page 1 visibility, we become a visible boudoir photographer, and boudoir search, and we have boudoir search visibility. And that's starting the momentum. We can take this momentum as far as we want to go to also be dominating page 1, as many slots as we want to go for. Now, this is my results using this. was bringing, basically ranking for this term up at the top. Bring it out here eventually. Term is BLCS Boudoir. All right, here we go. BLCS Boudoir. It's for the other account, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, the other accounts, the other brand. So we see we got the AI overview, which is not me yet. Got the Google Map Pack. And then we got, here we go. Now we are at the organic. So I got slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, slot 4, slot 5, slot 6, slot 7, slot 8, and slot 10. So I got 9 out of 10 slots to this in 10 days. Someone searching BLCS Boudoir. Who are they coming to? Obviously me. It's person number 9. I don't stand any chance. And this is in 10 days. I could keep going. I could take, eventually, I believe, takes that slot 9 as well. And so these are my results doing this. All right, main event here. You can see this Boudoir Photography Business. Check its local search, check its city search. Go to Ankeny and Des Moines, Iowa. Ankeny and Des Moines, Iowa, let's see. All right, boom. All right, let's see what we got here. Boom, we got 1. Boom, we got 2. Get rid of that. All right, so we only got, well, we got 2, so that's no BSS. We're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum, 3 out of 10 slots, page 1, Google search. All right, so we got 2. 2 for local. Let's check city. Boom, we got 1. It's nice too, first lot. And all right, we got 1. We got 1 out of 10. All right, so local, we got 2 out of 10. So we don't have BSS, but we did not reach the GBC recommended minimum, 3 out of 10 slots, page 1, Google search. City, we got 1 out of 10. So we do have BSS, and we also did not reach the GBC recommended minimum, 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 of Google search. So if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, meaning you've actually done your local searches, your city searches for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in your city, and you have seen you got BSS for at least one of those searches, or you're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search for at least one of those searches. And you've accepted that the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, a false belief. So like, man, yeah, we actually can take as many page 1 slots on Google as we want. And so you kind of broke through the mental barrier, and you're seeing, wow, SQ methodology, that's the solution I need. That's what I've been waiting for. It's a solution for me. And you're liking the initial benefits, yeah, more slots for you, page 1 Google search. And then obviously, you're also like kicking your competing with photographers off page 1, effectively rendering them invisible to approximately 80% of the market, or approximately 80% of buyers. That's a good strategic move. And you understand market saturation, yeah, more peeps become with photographers over time. It's because people upgrade their gear. But you're also remembering back in COVID, what happened? A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people still need to earn money. Everyone's got a superpowered smartphone with an ultra camera. So a ton of new boudoir photographers enter the market. Increased supply, more sellers for the same number of buyers, harder for every single seller. And now you're seeing AI taking more people's jobs. And you're actually seeing that more peeps will, AI is only simply going to get better and better over time. We're going to take more and more people's jobs over time. So like, people upgrading their gear, come with photographers, and people, on top of that, way more people actually losing their jobs due to AI. Going to be coming in being boudoir photographers on top of all that, the people upgrading their gear. So you're realizing it's not just simply about getting page 1 links and kicking competitors off page 1. You actually need to fortify your position. Like literally have page 1 backup links where you got so many links that you've already taken up basically all the slots you can on page 1. That all the other links that could be ranking on page 1, Google actually puts them, page 2, page 3, page 4, kind of like backlog of links that are page 1 worthy. So then you can essentially prevent all current boudoir photographer competitors from ever ranking on page 1, and also essentially prevent all the future boudoir photographers from ever future boudoir photographers that actually come through AI taking their job from ever ranking on page 1. So you understand you got to fortify your position like fortifying the levees down in New Orleans, Louisiana, because that city's actually below sea level, so they got to fortify the levees against the ocean. And you're saying, okay, how do we get all these links? And you're saying, okay, SQ methodology, got it. That's fortification. That's a benefit SQ methodology gives as well. And you want to achieve page one visibility in order to become a visible boudoir photographer, to achieve boudoir search visibility, because you need these things on your path to becoming the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you are also understanding kind of the future benefits of SQ methodology, where you know all these all the social search saturation we're doing for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords. You're understanding that we're basically building like these invisible thematic keyword columns, plugging them into your brand, your business name, your website name, your personal name, your social media handles. And every day we build these up by successfully executing SQ methodology. We're actually increasing the probability in 2 places, that we show up in 2 places. The first one here, AI overview. Most premium placement in Google search. #1 organic slot here. Cannot buy this with ads. And we're also increasing the probability of being shown in AI search apps. ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini. Increasing the probability of showing up there every day. That's important because AI search is growing every day while Google standard search is declining every single day. And you know that AI search is important. So these 2 benefits, AI overview, AI search, SQ methodology gives these, because it's exactly what we're doing, building the invisible thematic keywords columns. It's kind of like back-end AI keyword mindshare. That's kind of momentum. That's exactly what it is. So every day we do it. Successful SQ methodology, we're increasing the probability of showing up here. And I remember the last time I searched for boudoir photographers in a city with an AI app, was with ChatGPT. It gave me 3, but I went to then look manually, Google standard search, Facebook search, and dude, there's like 60. It's like, man, we gotta get in on these AI slots any way possible. And that's SQ methodology is the greatest, best way that I've ever seen that enables the highest probability for a boudoir photographer to achieve that. And you also like future benefits, yeah, can help build a brand approximately 8x faster than standard methods. And you also understand that my current plan is to only work with 1 boudoir photographer per city. And so you like getting all these benefits, and also you like being able to prevent your competitors from getting these benefits, so you can actually build up massive link war chest, link ranking, and link kind of back-end AI keyword mindshare momentum. Massive gap between you and your competitors, to basically make it so that that gap can be made so big that basically no current competitor could essentially catch you, and no future competitor that actually comes from AI taking a job to basically ever catch you. And that's why you've decided to be first mover, because you want all these benefits and to prevent your competitors from getting all these benefits. You let that gap, because you understand the converse. The converse is actually that one of your competitors in your city signs on me first. We're putting their links, page 1 Google search. You're getting pushed off here on page 2 or 3 or somewhere deeper and visible to approximately 80% of the market or more. We're fortifying their page 1 links in Google search, so that essentially you'll never be able to rank on page 1 again as long as we keep executing. We're building up the back-end AI keyword mindshare momentum, and make it a super large gap between your competitor and you. And you're realizing to compete, you'd actually have to rederive SQ methodology, derive it for the first time, and you would never actually know if you've derived it correctly. 100%, you'd never be 100% confident you've derived it correctly. And then you'd have to go execute it every single day, same as us. But if you did both those things, the gap me and your competitor have already have ahead of you, it would be the same distance. You'd be maintaining the size of that gap. So to make any headway, close that gap, you'd actually have to outwork us like 2 to 3x every single day. And if you did that, well, then first of all, you wouldn't be 100% confident you've derived the strategy correctly. So it'd be hard to even put in 2 to 3x the time every single day. And then you'd be sitting there like, well, screw this. Who's got 80 hours to do all this stuff, all this work every single day? So if that's you, shoot us a DM. Our DMs are currently closed right now. The hospital is currently closed to new patients. But when the hospital does open for new patients, shoot us a DM and we will see if you qualify for utilizing our S cubed methodology.